Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Auto Repair Marketing Podcast. I am Kim Walker, and my partner, husband, best friend, co-host, Brian Walker, is not here today. He's playing hooky. He is absent. Not really. This is just really my topic. And so I'm going to be talking to you today about gifting and radical generosity. But before we go there, speaking of radical generosity, I want to thank our generous friends at RepairPal for providing you with this episode. RepairPal is the key that unlocks more business for your repair shop. Learn more at repairpal.com/shops. So radical generosity, what in the world am I talking about? This is a marketing show, although it's really just a life show and a auto repair show. But one thing that we have implemented in our business is gifting. And that is because if you've heard any of our shows, we probably have talked about core values, right? We call our core values our shield: synergy, happiness, integrity, expansion, leadership, and dedication. But we have one kind of unwritten core value, and that is a core value of radical generosity. So when I say radical, I mean like radical. It is all out there. It is creative and different and super unique and, probably just catches people by surprise. But the word radical, by definition, actually says relating to or affecting the fundamental nature of something. It's far-reaching and it's thorough. I love that definition. So when I think about radical generosity, well, you put that definition of radical with generosity, of just being kind and caring and generous and being thoughtful to other people. It goes perfectly in alignment with who I am as a person, right? I was born, God gifted me with the purpose of living this life, with the purpose of teaching, connecting, and serving. So when I think about that, and my role has evolved here in our business over the years to, I started, my first career was teaching, literally born to teach, connect, and serve. And so I was serving the audience of our students, the teachers, our community, the parents, and transitioned it all the way to where I am today. And my main big role, other than teaching, right, classes and going to events and sponsoring and things like that, but it's also human resources. So on our team, well, today in this episode, I'm going to talk to you about radical generosity and how we use gifting with our team internally, but also how we use it with potential customers, how we use it with vendors, partners in the industry, friends in the industry. It is just part of me that, and this is not like I didn't create this, but you've heard that it's better to give than to receive. I just get an incredible sense of joy and gratitude when I give. Very often, I will send something to someone and never hear back. I don't even know if they got it. Sometimes I'll have to reach out and say, hey, I just want to make sure I sent you something. I'm not looking for the thank you or any of that stuff. I just want to make sure you got it. And so radical generosity comes deep from within. So in one of our last podcasts, I talked about maintaining company culture. And one of the things I said was to actually handwrite a note, a postcard, and send it to your employees' family members, their kids, their parents, their spouses. That kind of is part of being generous, right? And it's radical because it's far-reaching. You think it's just a simple thing, but it makes a huge impact. So when I say radical generosity, I'm talking about things that really make a huge impact on your team, on your potential customers, everyone in your world. So I'm going to break this down a little bit, and I'm going to share with you some gifting ideas in how you can implement that into your shop. These are things that we are actively doing for our own world, if you will, that, you might think, well, is this about marketing? But as I've said before, this podcast is about marketing, but it's just about life. It's about auto repair in general, business. And so these are things that do make an impact, and there is a trickle down or a ripple effect that will ultimately impact your marketing. So I could certainly turn this into, this is how this is going to relate to your marketing. Sometimes there's pictures, sometimes there's not. Sometimes you never even know, like I said, if someone even received it. But just be natural, just be yourself, be authentic, and remember that it is so much better to give than to receive. So I actually have a budget. We figured it out based on an average of what I was spending last year. So I know what my budget is each month. And it is for gifting in general. It's not broken down by employee gifts or customer gifts or whatever it might be. I will tell you that I went over last month, but I was under on January, so it balances out. So let me share some ideas with you. Okay, we'll start with employee gifts. So, and again, I did reference a few of these things in another podcast. So go take a listen to that one about maintaining your company culture. So employee gifts. I love the random, keyword random DoorDash, right? Just DoorDash them something, but it needs to be something that they really like. And you have to know your employees, right? Is this one on keto? Or does this one love chocolate all day, any day, every day? Maybe this one is obsessed with this particular coffee. And if you don't know that just from a relational standpoint, one thing that we do is in our onboarding, when we bring on a new a new employee, we have a get to know your team member questionnaire, and it's a Google form. And we'll ask them a variety of things, but including your t-shirt size, what's your favorite snack, what's your favorite restaurant, so on and so forth. So I will often just go reference that. So if they're having a challenging day, or if they have a great day, or if they, whatever it might be, I just use my emotional intelligence to be like, they could probably use a little happy right now. So DoorDash randomly is fun. Now, as a shop owner, right, our team is all remote. So one team member doesn't know that another team member got something. So I don't know your company culture. Our company culture, like they would go take a picture of their random DoorDash and go put it in our office chat and say, I got a surprise today. The other team members are not getting butthurt over that because they didn't get it. They understand their day is coming, or their day already came and another one is coming. So it is about your team culture and the receptiveness to that sort of thing. So you can do that during the day, or you could random DoorDash them dinner one night. I remember not too long ago, one of our team members just really was having a hard struggle with a personal issue. And I was like, you know what? Today, dinner's on us. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to think about what. Sometimes the worst part of dinner is deciding what's for dinner. So I told this particular team member, you don't have to make that decision. You don't have to cook it. You don't have to order it. You don't have to go pick it up. I'm going to take care of all that for you tonight. Just go home, spend time with your kids, relax, just have a good time. So random DoorDash. Obviously Christmas, I'm not even going to spend time on that, or whatever holiday it might be for you throughout the year, whether it's 4th of July, maybe, maybe it comes down to just knowing your employees very well and knowing what their favorite holiday is and doing something special at that time. The typical new baby, a new home, they moved into a new apartment, they got married. It could even be sympathy related. We've had those situations as well where someone just need to be loved on in a very difficult, challenging time that way. And then there's the random just because. So those are some ideas for some employee gifts. I'm going to actually share some of my favorite vendors with you as we wrap up here in a little bit. But first things first, employees gifts, got that taken care of. I love to gift friends in the industry, partners, people that refer to us a lot, people that we're just friends with in the industry, whether it's a certain organization or association, maybe it's another, not a repair shop, but another supplier to the repair shop world. So it could be a coach, it could be a piece of software, people that we meet at conferences and trade shows. So sometimes in advance of those events, I'll reach out and say, "Hey, can we grab dinner together?" And so obviously we're going to be treating at that time. After the event, I'll send a thanks for spending time with us. It was great meeting you. Just a little happy, right? Just something really simple, just to say I valued your time and maybe would love to spend more time together, would love to get to know you better, that sort of thing. The random, just staying in touch sort of thing. So the other thing I love to do is when I'm scrolling, say, Facebook or LinkedIn or Instagram, and I see that someone bought a new piece of equipment or they're having a challenging time with a specific topic, or maybe it's about growing their business, or it's about creating processes or gifting or whatever, I will connect them to resources. And so that's not necessarily a gift like what you might be thinking that's wrapped up in a pretty bow, but it's the gift of time and just consideration and being thoughtful and helpful. So as you're scrolling Facebook, you may see that, I don't want to jump to my favorite vendors yet, but there have been many times where I've seen where someone in the industry went on vacation and they posted their photos, and I'll grab one of their photos and send them a gift where I had that photo printed. But I'll tell you more about that in a minute. So the point is paying attention to your social media feeds and just seeing what's happening in people's lives, and where can you grab a moment and hold on to it and gift that friend in the industry with something. I know that just recently I was at the summit with the Institute down in Florida, and I met in the expo, I met another young person, and of course you always talk about like, where are you from and that sort of thing. And I was telling him I was from Louisiana, and he said something about gators, or somehow we got onto the topic of alligators. And I was telling him that our son is up at West Point in New York, and that I had recently sent him some gator jerky. And so this young guy was like, "What? Gator jerky? Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. I love jerky." And so I'm like, noted. I was like, "Email me your address. I'll send you some gator jerky." It was like $7 from the local farmer's market. Oh, it's not a farmer's market, but it is a farmer's market, I guess, because it's Berrytown Produce, which is the Liuza Farms. And so he was like, "Are you serious?" So he's from Wisconsin, and he was like, "If you send me gator jerky, I'll send you some cheese." And I'm like, "Well, you don't need to send me the cheese. Just send me your address." And so he did. Well, would you know that a little while later, after I got home, I had not sent his gator jerky yet. Like within the next week, Tanika Haynes up in North Carolina, Chapel Hill, and she posted on Facebook. Again, I'm scrolling Facebook, and she posted about ordering a legit actual alligator that was shipped up to her from Louisiana, I didn't know this until later on, but she actually cooked that sucker up, and it was what one of her shop, maybe technicians, wanted for their birthday. And Tanika prepared alligator and gave it to him. So I commented on her post about ordering the alligator, and I'm like, "You should have told me. We really do have 2 alligators in our pond in our backyard, our front yard actually," which is very funny because all these years people were like, "Oh, you're from Louisiana. you have alligators everywhere. And I'm like, I have been here 50 years and we do not see alligators everywhere. People think you just have alligators in your yard. Well, we bought property and we built a house a little over a year ago. Guess what we have? 2 alligators. It is a source of contention between Brian Walker and myself. I know I'm not talking about gifting at this moment, although I kind of am. A gift that Brian Walker would give to me is to listen to his wife. Wow, doing these solo casts is really fun because he's not here and I can just say whatever I want to. So I told him, we need to call and get the gator removed. And he's like, no, it's really cool. I'm like, it's not cool. We have a bunch of little dogs running around here and kids. Like, you need to get rid of the gators. So anyways, I commented on Tanika's post and was like, girlfriend, if you need gator, just let me know. I can send it to you. I just got some gator jerky. I'm getting some gator jerky. Do you want me to send you some? And she was like, yeah. Well, then Benji Burris comes and jumps in. He's from Frog Pond Performance, also in North Carolina. He comes and comments. So, y'all, I just ran over to Berrytown Produce and picked up 3 packages of gator jerky. And then right next to it, they had gator sticks and pralines. So I put together 3 little packages with gator jerky, gator sticks, and a praline and shipped it off to my 3 friends. Radical generosity in gifting. Like, it's so easy. That all came from just scrolling Facebook and capturing the moment and doing something with it. I am obsessed with just creating a moment, creating a memory through connection. And so that is one way that you can do that. So seeing something on social and allowing it to prompt you to take action and do something for someone. So we also have something, and I forget where this came from. I think it came from a coaching group Brian was involved in last year. I can't really remember for sure, but we have a Dream 25 list, right? So we know our core values. Y'all know that. We know exactly who the perfect type of shop is to work with us. And so we have a Dream 25 list. Like, it would be a dream if we could work, if these were some of our customers. So we practice what we preach. We look at our customer avatar. We look at our current shops that we're working with that are amazing. We're like, where can we get more of them? That's our Dream 25 list. And so I have that Dream 25 list, and I will actively engage with those folks. This may sound really messed up, but it's very authentic. It's very natural. There's nothing fake about it. It's really, truly people that we know we would love to get to know better, people. I'm not talking about the shop. I'm talking about the person, the human, people that we know would be great customers, that our team would enjoy, and they may never become a customer, but I'm going to let them know we really like what we see in you. You really seem like a great person. We like the impact you have on the industry. And so, I will gift that person from time to time, and it may just be a simple note. Right? I'm not talking about big gifts, like lots of big expensive things, but maybe it's just a simple note to say, hey, I think you're pretty awesome. Or it was great to meet you at Vision last week. Or, hey, can we grab a virtual coffee? Like, let's just jump on Zoom and spend a little bit of time together. I'd love to hear more about your life or your family or your shop or whatever it might be. So, incorporate that into your strategy as well. There's obviously the special occasion gifts. I'm doing this on March 1st. Friday is March 3rd, and it is Employee Appreciation Day. Well, we just had Christmas, and we were very generous to our team, and we also are bringing them to the beach soon. So last year, I actually jumped on Amazon, and knowing that we were going to the beach, I sent them all. It was our first beach trip, so I sent them all a tiny little package of sunscreen, chapstick, and a beach towel, I think I had in there. So appreciation days where there's, all the crazy days all throughout the year, there may be something that you can do. So think about the special occasion gifts. Client gifts. All right. So again, We are a marketing company. You are a shop. So think about how you can turn this into something for your shop. You know who's really great at this? Adam Rath. Adam is very creative, and he kind of switches things up and leaves things in the customers' cars all the time, but he switches up, like he themes it every quarter or something like that. So check out Adam Rath at Allied Automotive in Allentown, Pennsylvania. He loves helping people and talking to people. He'll talk to you forever. Tell him I sent you. Hey, Adam, if you're watching. So client gifts. We gift our new clients when they become a new client. I am going to talk to you about a local company that I use for this, although anybody can use them because they're e-commerce as well as having a local actual brick and mortar store. So we send a new client gift, and in that new client gift, it's something very specific for our new client. In addition to what's in that little basket, if you will, we also include a t-shirt from Shop Marketing Pros, which some people that really are all into giftology, which I'll tell you about that in a minute, it's a book, they will say, don't send branded marketing material. So I'm sending other stuff. This is just one of the things in there. And yeah, we actually have had several people that are like, hey, I'd love one of your t-shirts. So we send a t-shirt. So we do new client gifts. We do client upgrade gifts as well. So if we've been working with someone, maybe we've built a website, we're doing social media, and they decide they want to add on services. Hey, I want to add ads, or I want to add SEO, or whatever it might be. If they upgrade, then we will send them another special gift, different from the first one, because obviously we don't want to send them the exact same thing. And then again, there are special occasion things. Like I know clients who were having an open house, right? Or I know RDI Power has coming up, I think in May, they have a big truck show. And so like last year, DoorDash, I DoorDashed them a big thing of like coffee to have for their event. And then I think I also not DoorDash, but used crumble cookies and had a whole set of crumble cookies delivered for their event. So I think I may have sent pizza up to Mavert for their customer appreciation event. So there's just special occasions where you may want to do something. So for us, that's our clients. For you, you have to think about what's going to make sense from the shop owner's perspective. When we had our shop, our customer loyalty program was super custom catered to each individual customer. In the beginning, we were like, oh, you're going to get a free oil change for every customer that you refer. Well, here's what happened. We ended up with customers that would practically end up with a lifetime of free oil changes for them and their future 3 generations, because they referred so many people to us that finally we were like, okay, you really need your own loyalty program. And we were a high-end European shop, and we catered it to our customers. So we really got to know. So there was this one guy, he was the administrator of our hospital, and I know that he was a very just casual guy, but he very often, he was kind of a foodie, and he would love to go out to dinner. So we would very often do wine and dinner and things like that. And then there was another guy, he was a tennis professional. He referred to us all the time. So we had to do things that we knew would relate specifically to him, that he would really value and appreciate. So think about maybe you incorporating gifting into your customer loyalty program. So I wanted to back up a little bit. One thing that I left out with our employees was we also do new employee gifts, like welcome to the team gifts. So that's something that you can think of implementing as well in your shop. And I want to wrap it up by sharing with you a couple of things. These are like my favorite vendors, but a lot of this is also referenced in a really great book. So I'll put all of this in the show notes, but Giftology, the book itself, is available on Amazon, and it is written by John Ruhlin, Ruhlin. It's the art and science of using gifts to cut through the noise, increase referrals, and strengthen retention. So that book, I was already well on my way to doing all of this giftology stuff when I found out about the book Giftology. I think JR actually told me to read it, and I actually listened to it. I'm not normally an audible book reader. I really like having the book in my hand, but I think Brian and I listened to Giftology on a drive from Texas a couple months ago, and I'm like, oh, well, we do that. So it was really reassuring that as I was reading the book, I'm like, oh, well, okay, we are already doing that. So I did get some good, really fun new ideas from that book. So I really want to recommend that you take a look at it. It is a very easy book to read because it's broken down into a ton of really tiny, small chapters that are easily digestible. It's like 1-page chapters. So it's also a great reference book to go back. I need to buy it for myself, actually. By the way, I'm going to tell you this side note. I'm not telling you this because I want someone to send me the book. But another gifting thing that I do is when I hear someone talking about a book and they're like, oh, yeah, I've heard about that. I really want to get that book. Guess what? Amazon, order, delivered. Or if I'm recommending a book, a Giftology, I sent Giftology to my dear friend Jen Reinflesh at Collinsville, just because we were having a conversation and we were talking about it. She has asked me before. Jen has been on the receiving end of my gifting, and she's like, you just have such good ideas. To tell you the truth, I think this episode is because she and I talked about me doing it. So Jen, there you go. But I sent her this book and she told me it was such a great read. So go get the book, Giftology. I need to get it for myself because I was telling you it's a great reference book. I want to have it on my desk where I can go and write in it and all this. I even have a spreadsheet, right? I told you that I have a budget that I need to stick to. Otherwise, Kim will go gifting crazy. So I have a spreadsheet where I record every gift that I order on a monthly basis and am keeping track to make sure that I'm not going over my budget. All right. So my favorite vendors, here we go. Thebasketry.com. So thebasketry.com. They are located down near New Orleans, not far from us. They actually used to be a customer of ours. And I love Christy Bricado and her people so much. They take unbelievable care of me. I actually tried to get her on this podcast, but she's been super, super busy lately. We just had Mardi Gras here in Louisiana, and she is obviously was all into gifting and all the Mardi Gras and Louisiana baskets and that sort of thing. So the basketry, I literally either use the basketry, highly recommend, or find one in your local community that will do the same thing for you. So what Christy and her team, you could do this on their website, but I went because it's local to me. I literally went in there with a list. I'm like, I need an employee gift. I need a new client gift, a client upgrade gift, an industry partner gift, a cheer you up day gift. And I feel like I've got one more. And we walked around the shop together and basically curated this gift basket for each of those situations. And I also put together like a note that would go with each of those and what the budget was. So now when we get a new client, it's part of our process. One of our team members tags me and says, hey, Kim, send a gift to this customer. It's a new client. Here's their address. Here's this t-shirt size. Well, then I just jump over. I email the basketry team and I'm like, hey, please send a gift. And if I want to further customize it maybe I want to add a little bit more budget to it. I tell them, hey, I want to customize it a little bit more because I want you to put this in it, or leave it as it is. Here's the note that goes with it. But another way that we customize it is they have a new feature where I can record a video on my phone, and I might just say something like, hey, Sally, thanks so much. Oh, no, I would say, hey, Sally, this is Kim Walker from Shop Marketing Pros. I'm super excited to have you partnering with us on your marketing. Our team's really excited to work with you. I'd tell them a little bit more stuff, blah, blah, blah. And then I would usually say something like, this is just a welcome gift from your Shop Marketing Pros family. A little lanyap from Louisiana. So the word lanyap means extra. And so I send the basketry that video. And so then in the basket, they put a little card with a QR code and they scan the QR code, and my video is talking to that new customer or vendor in the industry or partner, coach, friend, whatever it might be. So I love the basketry. Christy Burcato, I gave you a shout out. Okay, here's another one. By the way, there are links to these companies in the show notes. I get 0 credit, by the way. Christy is not bonusing me for sharing about her. These are just truly companies I really, really, really love. The next ones, Christy's the only one that I know personally. The other ones I do not know personally at all. So this one is Holtz Leather, Holtz. They are a small business, family owned, family operated out of Alabama. And I'm going to tell you how I found out about them. So Brian and I have a private Pinterest board. He has one, I have one. Honestly, we haven't used it in several months or so, but what happens is when I come across something that I would really love to have, I will go pin it to my Pinterest board. When Brian comes across something, though he pins stupid stuff like, I mean, it's not stupid, but I'm not going to buy it. Like I put a car on mine just to make fun of him because that he puts like motorcycles and boats and big stuff that I'm not going to buy for him. But anyway, he will go pin stuff to his Pinterest board. Well, the other person gets an email notification. So for Christmas one year, a couple of years ago, I went to Pinterest because I was going to look at his Pinterest board to see what could I buy him for Christmas this year. And as I was scrolling, I got an ad in Pinterest from Holtz Leather, and it was just this handmade leather, all kinds of different things. And I'm like, oh my gosh, he would love that. So I clicked the ad and I went to their website, and here we are like 5 years later, and I probably should be part owner in this company. I have purchased from them so many times. They are phenomenal. Go look at Holtz Leather. So I know that I have sent these little wallets that have your name etched in it to both employees, to some customers. They have, if you've ever seen our leather lanyards, like when we go to a conference or something, we have our own leather lanyard with Shop Marketing Pros on it or our initials. I ordered that from Holtz Leather, and I've given that to our employees before. I think that I sent one of those to Justin Allen before. He was on our podcast, and we just had a really great time with him. And I just wanted to say, hey, I really love your energy. Thanks for spending time with us. I think I sent him a lanyard because one of my team members last year at ASTE saw Justin looking at our lanyards, and they told me afterwards, they were like, I think he really likes that leather lanyard. And I'm like, done. So I sent him one. So Holtz Leather is one of my all-time favorites. Go check them out. And another thing that Holtz Leather, they do the baseball caps with the custom leather patch. So I think it was Scott Bickley that I recently, so we sent a videographer out to his shop, Little Wolf, to record a customer testimonial. And I just know how much time it takes. And so just wanted to thank him. So I went to Holtz Leather and used his logo, put it on there, picked a couple of hats, sent them to him, and he said one of his kids stole it because he loves it so much. So there you go. Holtz Leather, y'all go check it out. I think you'll really love it. They have lots and lots. I mean, great gifts for women, men, kids, corporate gifts, house decorations. One thing that I did, they have whiskey barrel, like pieces of wood out of a whiskey barrel, and they will etch your name in it. Like ours says Walker, established 1999, the year that Brian and I got married. On that website, I also, Ed Trevino is one of our clients. Ed is Canuga Tire and Auto in North Carolina. And again, a video thank you. I went to Holtz Leather and I got Ed because I know our customers. Like our team knows them. They know what they will enjoy and what they like. Scott Bickley always wears baseball caps. And so there's it's called a whiskey flight, but it's a whiskey barrel that had Trevino. I had Trevino etched in it, and it had these 4 like whiskey glasses. And so, yeah, I love that. It's so cool. So check out Holtz Leather. Almost finished here. Y'all hang with me. Small Woods. OMG. Also one of my favorites. Another small business, family owned, family operated out of Texas. I want to say they're in Houston, but another ad that I found, and we were on our way driving the RV home from the Grand Tetons, I think that's what you call it, up in Wyoming, Yellowstone. And we had just taken this beautiful photo on our phone with us at this lake, and the mountains were behind us. And I saw this ad, and I'm like, I'm going to try it. So super easy, very e-commerce, user-friendly website where you can, right there on your phone. I did this while we were driving home. I just picked my photo and they printed it on this scalloped piece of wood, and it's hanging above our fireplace in the sunroom. It's so beautiful. But that is what I bought the first time. I've never bought that one again, not because I don't like it. I totally would. But I fell in love with just one of their products where they custom print your photo onto a piece of canvas, and then it is custom framed. And it sounds super expensive, but it is very reasonable. They also very often have lots of great coupons and discounts. Holtz Leather never really does that. But their prices are great. So Small Woods, I have very often, I know Jen and Mike Rhineflesh, I kind of snagged one of their photos from Jen's Facebook from their, I think 30th wedding anniversary from a trip they were on. I sent them one. I've done family photos that I stole off of Facebook for Scott Bickley's family. Tara Topol, she is not a customer, but just a huge, wonderful woman in the automotive industry. They have a great shop, and they had just built a multi-million-dollar brand new shop, and she posted a picture of it, and I was like, she needs this in their shop. So I snagged that photo, uploaded it to Smallwoods, had it ordered, had it shipped to her directly. And so anyway, I use Smallwoods a lot as well. Another one, Joe Hansen, he and his wife love to do photography. I had no idea that you could see the northern lights from Michigan. Well, they posted a photo with their beautiful camera that they took. It was like a silhouette photo of themselves, and the northern lights were there. And so I had that printed and sent to them because it was just stunning. So the other ones everybody knows about, but I just want to remind you about them, and I've referenced before. DoorDash. So DoorDash is a great, easy option. I do that pretty regularly with our team members, but also we pick a different person in our Facebook group every month who's been highly engaged, and we will send pizza to their shop. So we just did that for Parker Branch. was that for being engaged in the Facebook group, or I think that was for something else. I don't know. Anyway, so I use DoorDash a lot. And then Amazon. Oh my God. So we've had customers who are like, hey, you put these Zapp's potato chips in our client, like welcome client gift, and they were fire. So I've jumped on Amazon before and shipped them a case of Zapp's potato chips. So just having fun and just staying engaged with our friends in the industry, our customers, our employees. Another one, so I don't remember who this was, but there's someone in the industry that is a big Jeep enthusiast that we're friends with. And if you're into the Jeep culture, you know about ducks and the ducking phenomenon. And so I jumped on Amazon and bought a whole freaking case of ducks and shipped to them because they were big into the Jeeping stuff. And I could pull out my Amazon account and go back through and just find the number of times that I have used Amazon to easily, quickly ship something to someone. Benji, they were doing a toy drive at Christmas, and I just jumped on Amazon and ordered up a whole bunch of toys and shipped it to them really quick. So, we're in the world of the internet and e-commerce, and COVID sent everyone online. And so it's super easy for you to implement radical generosity in your shop. So if you have any additional ideas, tips, maybe you had some aha moments today or some takeaways and you're like, you just want to share, I would love to hear from you. Please email us at podcast@shopmarketingpros.com and let us hear from you about this episode today. So I just want to invite you again to join us in our Facebook group. Go to Facebook, do a search for Auto Repair Marketing Mastermind. Join us over there for some fun, very generous conversations relating to marketing your shop. Lots of shop owners are in there sharing tips and tricks and techniques and asking questions and just helping one another. So I also want to remind you that we're just one of the podcasts on the Aftermarket Radio Network. So we would love to have you jump over to aftermarketradionetwork.com and explore the other podcasts that are in the network and take a listen. Until next time, go fill those bays.